This is your weekly report on corruption in the Philippine government. A barangay councilor was shot by still unidentified gunmen inside the barangay hall of Ginoman in Diplahan Municipality, Zamboanga Sibugay on Thursday, the 28th of April. Police Colonel Albert Larubis, Zamboanga Sibugay Provincial Police Director, identified the fatality as Chris Tatuto Halap. A report from the Police Regional Office 9 said Halap was inside the Ginoman Barangay Hall when two men arrived on board a Bajaj tricycle and shot the victim several times. The suspects escaped towards Barangay Natan. The victim was still conscious when he was brought to the Wilfredo Palma Hospital in Diplahan but expired while undergoing treatment. Diga City Mayor Joseph Cagas has set a 1 million peso reward for those who can provide information leading to the arrest of the killer of a village official here on Wednesday. Cagas said the funds for the bounty comes from the local government. San Jose Village Chief Angelito Velasquez, 50, had just arrived home around 5 p.m. on Wednesday when attacked before he could alight from the vehicle. Neighbors in Purok Jacosalam who heard the gunshots then rushed him to Sunga Hospital where he was declared dead on arrival. The window in the driver's side of the vehicle was shattered while Velasquez suffered several gunshot wounds in different parts of his body. A barangay captain or village chief, who was also running for councillor in this Pampanga capital in the upcoming May polls, was killed after an unidentified gunman shot him Saturday morning. Barangay Alasis Chief Alvin Mendoza was leaving his home at around 7 a.m. when the shooting incident happened, his sister Arlene Supan said in a phone interview. Mendoza died while being treated at a public hospital at around 8:50 a.m. Mendoza, 51, was running with the lineup of Mayoralty Bet Vilma Caluag under the Partido Democratico Pilipino Lakas Nagbayan banner. A police officer was arrested Sunday for allegedly selling an undocumented firearm in Bacolod City. In a statement Monday, Brigadier General Oliver Inmodius, chief of the Philippine National Police Integrity Monitoring and Enforcement Group, identified the suspect as Staff Sergeant Jerwin Catolico who is assigned at the Bacolod City Police Office. Catolico was arrested in an entrapment at Barangay Estefania around 10:40 a.m. for violation of Republic Act 10591 or the Comprehensive Firearms and Ammunition Regulation Act and the Omnibus Election Code. Citing Inmodius' report, PNP Chief General Dionado Carlos said the suspect was arrested after handing over one .45 caliber pistol in exchange for money received from a poser buyer. The suspect is the primary target under Operation Pistola for his involvement in the illegal selling of unlicensed firearms in the province of Negros and nearby areas. Carlos said that guns are a common instrument in committing crimes. That is why we have to step up our preemptive campaign through aggressive operations against those who sell them illegally. Carlos said in a statement, "I have directed the PNP IMAG to intensify their monitoring efforts and go all out in our campaign to weed out scalawags who continue to tarnish the image of the PNP organization." The National Bureau of Investigation on Thursday announced the filing of murder charges against several officers of the Philippine National Police involved in the shootout between Pilar, Abra Vice Mayor Jaja Josefina Disono's security team and local officers, leaving one individual dead. The NBI also said it filed charges for perjury and incriminating an innocent person against the police officers. The said gun battle killed one of Disono's security aides identified as Sandy Boy Bermudo. According to the NBI, the charges stemmed from the results of an investigation conducted by the NBI-NCR that revealed that the convoy of Disono was deliberately fired upon by the involved police officers. Thus, based on the evidences gathered, the NBI-NCR recommends the filing of murder charges against the above-named subject. In addition to the murder charges, perjury and incriminating an innocent person were also filed against Police Lieutenant Kisang, Police Corporal Sabaniano, Patrolman Avano, Corporal Jove, and Patrolman Al Perez, said the NBI. The NBI explained that police initially claimed they were conducting a Comelec checkpoint along Barona Street, Pilar, Abra, when the shootout occurred. However, CCTV footage gathered by the NBI showed that there was no visible checkpoint along the said area at the time. PNP also claimed that its police vehicle, with marking 557, was fired upon by one of the passengers of Disono's convoy, but based on the CCTV footage, the police mobile bearing the marking 557 was seen pursuing the target van without a bullet hole and suddenly stopped pursuing the van, said the NBI. The Sandigan Bayan has allowed Davao del Sur Governor Mark Douglas Chan Cagas IV to plead guilty to a lesser offense on the 2 graft and 2 malversation charges on his alleged misuse of 12.95 million pesos in Priority Development Assistance Fund, PDAF, when he was a member of Congress. With the approval, Cagas will be imposed lower penalties than those actually prescribed for graft and malversation. Cagas' motion for plea bargaining on his criminal cases had the consent of the prosecution, which required that the former legislator would return to the government 12.95 million pesos of his previous PDAF. He then filed with the Anti-Graft Court of Compliance last the 4th of April and submitted a certified true copy of official receipt number 9,700,057 dated last the 1st of April evidencing the payment of 12.95 million pesos. A police official who had been accused by former Cebu City Mayor Thomas Osmeña of harassing his supporters in 2019 was wounded in an ambush on Sunday, the 1st of May, 2022. Police Lieutenant Colonel Chuck Barandog was critically wounded after he was ambushed by two motorcycle-riding men at the corner of Pope John Paul II Avenue and F. Cabahug Street, Cebu City past 10 p.m. on Sunday. Barandog and his wife, former Cebu City Medical Center Administrator Yvonne Kenya, and a police security escort were on their way home to Barangay Calunasan aboard a white Toyota Hilux pickup with STL party list markings after attending an activity in Mandawi City when the gunmen peppered their vehicle with bullets. Kenya is running in the 9th of May, 2022 elections as the STL party list first nominee. Lieutenant Colonel Maria Teresa Makatange, information officer of the Cebu City Police Office, said the security escort, whom she declined to name, narrated that they were traversing Pope John Paul II Avenue when Lieutenant Colonel Barandog, the driver of the vehicle, stopped the vehicle on reaching the Ayala Kasambagan Road intersection due to the stop signal. He said they were about to speed off as the traffic light turned green when the assailants staged the ambush. The vehicle's window on the driver's side bore multiple gunshot holes. Despite suffering 11 gunshot wounds in different parts of his body, including the arm, hands and stomach, Barandog still managed to crawl towards the back of the car to hide, while Kenya immediately got out of the car. Kenya was hit in the left portion of her ribs and thigh and was declared in stable condition. Barandog and his security escort allegedly were not able to fire back at the gunmen as the ambush happened too quickly. The escort's eyes were also hit by shards from the car's glass window. The suspects immediately fled and are now being hunted by the police. The Commission on Elections has been asked to bar former Palawan Governor Mario Joel Reyes from vying for his former post in the 9th of May election since he was already convicted of graft by the Sandiganban. In a 16-page petition for disqualification, Nazir Ajuddin Miranda and Mohammed Venero Asgali said Reyes had been found guilty by the Anti-Graft Court on the 29th of August, 2017, of illegally renewing the permit of a small-scale mining company that had been previously cited for various violations. The petitioners, both registered voters from Bataraza, Palawan, said that aside from a 6-year prison term, Reyes was also meted out a lifetime ban from joining the government for violating the Anti-Graft and Corrupt Practices Act. They said Reyes' guilty verdict was upheld by the Supreme Court in September 2019. Philippine National Police Chief Police General Darnado Carlos ordered Wednesday the relief of the entire personnel of Pilar, Abra Municipal Police Station upon the recommendation of the Commission on Elections. Sa Pilar, Abra, I just texted the Regional Director Police Brigadier General Ronald Lee that effective immediately we will remove all the Pilar, Abra MPS personnel and immediately be replaced. I will be seeing Ronald Lee this afternoon, Carlos said during a joint press conference with Comelec Chairman Sediman Pangarangan. He said police personnel from the Regional Mobile Force will be deployed to replace the relieved police officers. Actually, that police station will have about 20 to 30 personnel. It's easy to replace that, and the personnel we will replace knows the area, normally coming from the Regional Mobile Force or somebody who has been assigned before in the town of Pilar, so that won't be a problem. We can immediately adjust, said Carlos. Pangarangan made the recommendation after placing Pilar, Abra under Comelec control. He said he received confidential reports from CAR Regional Election Director Edilino Tabalas and petition of the local government regarding the supposed bias of the Pilar, Abra police and threats and intimidation received by supporters of certain candidates. Because of threats and intimidation by private armed groups to certain candidates in Pilar, Abra, even the mayor, vice mayor, and councillors were hiding because they feel that they cannot be protected by the local police detachment of Pilar, and all these concerns is confirmed to be by the regional election director. I declared Pilar under Comelec control using my emergency power, Pangarangan said. The recommendation is to relieve the entire police force of Pilar, and that would include the chief of police. Just change the entire police detachment so that we can have peaceful, orderly, and honest elections, he added. A police major allegedly involved in a shooting incident in Nueva Ecija voluntarily surrendered to Colonel Richmond L. Tadana, Provincial Director of Pangasinan Provincial Office, inside Camp Antonio Usisan in this province. Major Antonino B. Quaresma, nicknamed Abu, was assisted by Lieutenant Colonel Genevieve B. Pablete, Chief of Police of Binmali PNP, as he submitted himself to Colonel Tadina on Wednesday on the prodding of fellow policemen. Quaresma, a PNP member assigned at Binmali Pangasinan PPO, allegedly shot Jonathan Fernandez aka Ramon, 38, a company driver of Joyce Ice Cream in Cabanatuan City and a resident of Barangay Laga, Cabanatuan City. The shooting incident happened on the 29th of April along Cabanatuan Carmen Road, Purugdo, Barangay Pamaldan, in Cabanatuan City, Nueva Ecija. The Pangasinan police said that murder and serious illegal detention charges against Maj Quaresma were already referred to the prosecutor's office in Cabanatuan City. That's all for this week. I'll see you next Friday with more stories of corruption and foolishness within the Philippine government.